Hello, welcome to another video. In this video we are going to be talking about some of the most controversial things that has happened recently. It's really well known in pop culture, it's really well known all over the world. At least at some point in everyone's life they have watched an episode of this. Doctor Who! Yes, I wore the closest thing I could to space and time, and it was a Star Wars t-shirt because I don't have any Doctor Who merch at times. But that doesn't mean I'm not a fan. I am a huge fan of Doctor Who. I have been a Whovian for 90% of my life. Well, from what I can remember anyway. On Sunday the 16th of July, Jodie Whittaker was cast to play the 13th Doctor. What's that, Connor? A female? As a Doctor? What? Yes, a female has been cast to play the role as what is typically known to be a male's role. This is very controversial because the Doctor has always been known as the male, the man who travels in a police box who kidnaps women, essentially, and their husbands, who then later marries Zed's children, if you want to really get technical with it. But yes, the term Raggedy Man has been used a lot, and just the term Time Lord. He is a lord. He is a male, a lord, a powerful being. But is this really the case? In one of the episodes, a general in the Time War regenerates into a female, and then he is asked, oh, you've regenerated. And then this Time Lord says, this is my true form. And it was a woman. So does that mean gender roles don't really apply to Time Lords? It's just a generic term because Time Lord sounds awesome? Or is Time Lord what their species is, not necessarily gender controlled? So really it doesn't matter if you are male or female, you are still a Time Lord. This does support the argument as well how the Master became Missy. Missy is a later regeneration of the Master, which did send a lot of controversy but also a little bit of sass to the Master. It brought a more intricate side to the Master, which was really good. It's shown a completely different side to him. It's shown a more deceptive side, which I thought was really cool. In the latest Doctor Who finale though, we got Missy with the amazing John Sim Master, and he is the fan favourites of all the Masters that have ever been because he is the one that gave the Master a true face. And also shown his true colours. It was the Master in his darkest years. The Master becoming a female was already a really big controversial thing, but it did benefit. The fans got to see a different side to the Master, which they couldn't actually see through John Sim's performances, and they were great, but Missy just kind of shown the other areas that were kind of hidden down through all the darkness and pain in the Master's head, through all the drums. But let's get back on track. A female Doctor? Since Christopher Eccleston, there's been 3 other Doctors, and Christopher Eccleston regenerated the series. Overall, there is, including Jodie, there has been 14 Doctors. It's a really complicated timeline. Let's just stick with 13, just the ones that we all definitely know and it fits into the timeline and perspective. Okay, so we have the 13 Doctors, all going from the 1st up to the 12th have been all males. Most often it's because the body, when regenerating, doesn't have to go through a dramatic change. So, regenerating to a woman, could that mean that the Doctor's regeneration cycle is possibly corrupted in some way where the body has to go through this whole other change to try and fix it? That is an option for why they've probably done this, but the other option is they are trying to cater to the feminist community, or you know, equality rights. Obviously there is a lot of controversy here. I'll be looking over a few comments that I have asked you guys to send in and your opinions, and I will give my opinions as well. Okay, so here is someone's opinion of, after 40 years of being a fan of Doctor Who, bye-bye to it all. All good things must come to an end, and now it's a female, so I believe it's time to move on. Bit harsh how you just kind of ditching the show. Clearly if you've been a fan for 40 years, you love the show, so you would have the faith in the writers and the directors to just keep at it and just hold on to that ray of hope to see if your show can redeem itself. As I said before, she is a great actress, so her acting could easily redeem herself. Gender does not play a role in this, in my opinion. Try and see through the gender and see Jodie as the Doctor. It's about time a female actually got some form of role in such a major pop culture history. I can't believe that it's finally happened. Hashtag girl power. Yeah, it is great how she's got picked for it. I don't see how that's girl power, unless it gets revealed that she's fought through about 500 male applicants and then she's the only one left standing, and you know, she's there in the audition booth and the only audition of the day. Yeah, girl power, fair enough, she's conquered all. Do you see where I'm coming from with that? I just don't see how girl power is a thing there. She got picked for a role, it's not really, you know. This is awesome, she is an amazing actor, which ultimately matters. I agree with that 100%. It's focused on the acting. If she has gone to an audition and smashed it completely and all the writers and directors thought, that's it, that's the Doctor we want, they've scooped her up and that's why they've put her in. Simple. If she is a great actress, so if they've picked her out solely on talent, that's great. That's a good enough excuse for me. This just in, the BBC has also announced that the 14th Doctor will be a transsexual black Mexican midget who is autistic with one leg. Okay, so they've cast a female into a role. Do you really need to start making fun of other things that people try to make equal and stuff like that? I'm just trying to look at it realistically here. That's a bit far-fetched, mate. I'm sorry. Okay, so this comment intrigued me. I am a feminist, but no, sorry. I'm a massive Whovian. Doctor Who is a male role. Trying to fit a female into a male's shoes just doesn't work in this case. I'm really sorry, I'm really disappointed. I think I'll be leaving the show. That's really sad. And if you are the fan watching, come back, give it a chance. I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. It's only a woman because, ooh, look at us, we're progressive. Look at us all being inclusive and diverse. The Doctor is a man, he should always be a man, because whilst you obviously have to allow for a little bit of suspension of belief, this is just taking it too far. Stupid. Well, I kind of agree with you there. It could have been for publicity and for, you know, to make the show look more diverse. But agreeing with this comment in some sense, there are other ways to show powerful female characters. Look at Clara. She was incredibly powerful. She wasn't like a damsel in distress like some of the other people in Doctor Who, like, you know, Rose. And then they improved on Rose's character a lot, and yeah, Rose actually eventually did some butt kicking. Honestly, don't care. Fair enough to you. I think it's odd that they've now put a Doctor as a woman. Well, that's if it identifies as a woman, but honestly, don't care. I lost all interest in Doctor Who about 3 to 4 years ago. Fair enough, mate. I can understand that. Doctor Who did go downhill after David Tennant, but Matt Smith did pick it up in some sense. Sadly, I feel Matt Smith was kind of put in there to bring back a younger, more needy audience of people because he was a young, attractive male that obviously younger people would find relatable, and some of the older fans just see him as a Prince Charming Doctor, and I can understand why people think that of him. A lot of people only really like the show because of his looks, and that's wrong because you should like him for his acting. Matt Smith was one of my favourite Doctors, bear that in mind. He was one of my favourites, and like, it was sad to see him go. It was just as heartbreaking as David Tennant going, but Peter Capaldi is up there as well with them. He's kept the bar high. Loads of people don't like him solely because he's old, but that's what the Doctor is. The Doctor for years was just an old man, and it's great because he gives that kind of hint of darkness. You can see it in his eyes, you can see it in Capaldi's face. Just, I don't know if it's Capaldi's natural eyebrows, but he just looks naturally dark and mysterious, and it really brings the true element of the Doctor around, which I think is great. Now I'm going to censor this just because of this, but awful decision. Very mixed emotions from fans. Some are happy, some are bad, mostly negative. I'm actually surprised. It probably wasn't as well received as people thought. I'll admit I was a little bit shocked and annoyed because by the looks of things it did look like they were just trying to be like, oh, look at us, we're progressive, we can do this and this. The Doctor is now a woman. Come on, feminists, join us. It kind of looked like that. But after sitting down, calming down for a bit, me and my friend Joe, we decided, let's sit down and think this over. So we ended up just agreeing that if she was picked solely because of talent, great. You know, that way she is judged solely on talent and we can actually get a nice Doctor. But if she was picked out because of her gender, I've lost all faith in the show because they have to dive into the opposite gender to, you know, cater to people. The Doctor to me was always a man's role, and I'm sorry to offend people that it is a man's role, but I am willing to give Jodie a try. I am not totally pushing her away. I'm not saying she will be a god-awful doctor or anything like that. She could be the best doctor out there. She'll definitely be the most memorable, and congratulations to her for being the first female doctor. I just think they kind of pushed the boundaries when it happened to the Master. They should have let it simmer down a little bit after that, because really, if Missy still does live on after the Master stabbed her in the back, even though it's the same person, so the Master stabbed himself, itself in the back and killed his future self, i.e. Missy. If Missy is still alive, this means now it's two females enemies with each other, and it does get the worry that the Doctor Who franchise will slowly turn into a bit of a chick flick. That is one of the major worries from long-term fans, the fact that now there is Missy and now a female Doctor. Something needs to change there, just so it doesn't look like an Orange is the New Black gone into space type thing, which I'll admit, Orange is the New Black is pretty good. I'll be honest, I have started watching it. So yeah, if she was picked solely on talent, I'm more than happy, and I'm willing to give her a try. I think she'll be good, but at the same time, I don't think people will be as accepting straight away. I'll be honest, I didn't like Peter Capaldi at first, and if you are watching Peter somehow, somewhere, I'm really sorry. I was really critical of your acting. I don't know why, I just was, but you're one of my favourite Doctors, and you have one of the best sonic screwdrivers ever, so yeah, you were awesome. It's really sad to see you go. Jodie, I welcome you aboard to the Doctor Who community. I'm nervous for how the show will go, because it could go one of two ways now. This choice could make or break Doctor Who. It's very nerve-wracking. I'm excited to see how the show can go though. Also, Jodie looks like a Doctor compared to some of the other people that were running to be the Doctor, or rumoured at least to be the Doctor. They didn't look convincing. But Jodie at least looks like a Doctor, so be thankful that they picked somebody who has that kind of hint of a Doctor inside them. And the way that she looks, I don't know if she's adopting Peter Capaldi's kind of style with the hoodie underneath the jacket, but I like that. It suits her, especially in the trailer. I'll put like a snippet in, but it definitely does suit her. And if she kind of has that style, fair enough, it looks very Doctor-esque. Also, another little addition, and this will kind of annoy me a lot. If she doesn't have a sonic screwdriver, I will go insane, because the Doctor's primary weapon of choice, it's not even a weapon, it's just a tool, a utility, is a sonic screwdriver. If this changes to something gender specific, like a sonic lipstick, like in the Sarah Jane Adventures, which was totally awesome, but totally her thing. It was just Sarah Jane's thing. If it caters to her gender, I will be really angry, and then this proves that it is doing, the only reason that she is there is to look diverse and different and progressive. So if they keep the sonic screwdriver with Jodie's run as the 13th Doctor, there is still high hopes that she will be an amazing Doctor. If this sonic screwdriver changes to something else, it's just not Doctor Who. I'm interested as well to why they included an electric TARDIS key. That hasn't really happened before. Usually the key just comes with the TARDIS. I'll be interested to see the new sonic screwdriver though, the new look that the TARDIS will have, everything. I'm not leaving the show because I am loyal to it. I will have I've put my faith into the writers, directors, all that, because I want to see what they see. If they see this huge potential, I am more than happy to go along with it. I can't stress how annoyed I was at first because of how it came across, but at the same time it was kind of foreshadowed quite a lot. They brought on a lesbian as an apprentice for the Doctor, so they had to get rid of her, otherwise there would have been a bit of a kind of intimacy going on in the TARDIS, so it's kind of obvious now why they kind of took Bill away from that, so that way the Doctor was on his own when he suddenly became a woman. And it's fine. I still stand by my theory that Time Lord is the species name, and Lord of Time Lord doesn't mean male, it just means a generic term for the species. It doesn't matter if you are male or female, Time Lords can be either. Also, how would they reproduce? So there are obviously female Time Lords out there. They're not going to be Time Ladies, because that just doesn't make sense. There has also been other female Time Lords, kind of a hybrid though of human and Doctor, with Dr. Donna. So it has happened before. It's not something that's brand new, but it is new to see the Doctor in this form. Hopefully there will be a huge, amazing plot story behind this. I am intrigued to see how this will go as well. Bit of a different video, kind of just talking about one of the most controversial things ever. If you want me to go into more depth with this, please do leave a like, subscribe, comment your opinions, because this is a conversation. This is not just a video, it is a conversation with you guys. I hope you enjoy your Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and the rest of your week, and I shall see you next Friday.